warm welcome from my side. Welcome to the Making It in Austria. I'm your host, Adela. It's almost end of the year, and for that, we have a very special guest, Ramona Bordea. Ramona, warm welcome.
Thank you, Adela. Nice to be here.
Did I pronounce it very well, the Bordea?
Yes. Ramona Bordea, it's okay.
It's good. Are they both names the Romanian origin?
Yes. My name it's mostly confused here in Austria with Romana because I think Romana
Yeah.
is more an Austrian name.
Yeah.
In Romania is Ramona.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a Romanian name. I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, it sounds so. It sounds so. It somehow goes with the country. And Bordea, that's last
But
name.
yes, it's the name of my husband.
It's somehow. I was remembering it with Bordeaux, the color. So
Okay, it
so
suits me. Bordeaux.
so I was like, okay, I have these two in my head, so it's good. Ramona, good to have you. So we were just chatting before we hit on recording that we know each other for some time. Thankfully, WhatsApp saves, or we keep still saving messages, so we can always go back and see when was the last time when we were chatting more intense. And it was around the time when you were when you started the Very Executive Academy. So you did your MBA, Digital Transformation, right? Is it
Yes,
still
and data
called
science. Mhm.
in data science? So that's still the name. They haven't changed it to AI or.
Yeah, good point. No, it's still data science and digital transformation, but I think AI it's a broader spectrum. So
Okay.
yeah,
Did
it
you
could
had
include.
something about AI over there? So in that MBA, so was it also AI topic included into the scope?
Yes, but basically we did machine learning. We developed machine learning algorithms, and that's one smaller part of AI. AI is huge and bright, right? But definitely, I started there, getting to explore AI deeply from deep learning to machine learning and in a broader spectrum to agents and new technologies that are being used today.
So we hit to the spot of where you are at the moment, but maybe we want to go just a few years back or longer. Of your when you moved to Austria, so when you moved to Vienna, so how was that? Do you still remember? So what are your fond or less fond memories of that time?
Yeah, there are 3.5 years. Um, in Romania, we didn't live because we were unhappy. We actually had a very comfortable life. We had great jobs, great colleagues, a beautiful home. Family was close by. We had all the comforts that we needed. On paper, everything was amazing. I started to feel wrong due to the schooling system. I realized that the education in Romania was mostly focused on quantity and less on quality, like just memorizing and not necessarily understanding why things are happening. A lot of homeworks, a lot of time spent in traffic due to the bad infrastructure. And my husband had this opportunity to extend his business here in Austria, and I took it as a great opportunity to make a change. It was a lot of courage to say so, to leave everything behind. Um, it was also a hard beginning, but we don't regret anything. And the biggest happiness of ours is to see the kids being integrated and happy. And if they are happy, we are also happy.
True. Um, so you wanted the challenge, you said all the comforts and you're having family close. I picked up that one since we just said that I have small kids and then like having family close by is like, oh
That's
my God.
that's such a great thing. Yeah, I know.
Don't
I
think
know.
about it. I'm not gonna think about it, so I'm gonna um, but since you know now the school system of Austria, and I speak with a lot of parents, because our daughter will be in 2 years in school, so there are mixed feelings as well about, and you hear some of them saying, oh, this for sure needs to be reformed, and we also hear from Austrians saying it has not been reformed since the Maria Theresia established it hundreds of years ago. So what is your take, Ramona? How do you see it compared, since you have both worlds?
Yeah, so I have two kids. My daughter Alexia, she's almost 16. She started in Mittelschule. She was not speaking German at all. Um, she was in a private school, but the payment was totally acceptable. Um, and now the professor don't even realize that she was not born in Austria, and
Yeah.
she like German is not her Muttersprache. She learned everything from scratch, um, and she loves it here. Why? Because yeah, they do have homeworks, of course, but they also do some extra activities. They do a lot of Ausflugs, and they go. Right now, she's in Schönbrunn, for example,
Nice.
visiting the Christmas market with the school. They are very focused on understanding how things are done, and also it seems like easier. She comes home, she has time for herself to read a book, to do sports. It's not it, it's more comfortable. She's more happy here. Now, of course, I cannot compare the schooling system. How was it previously in Austria? I can compare it how I experienced it and how she's experienced it. And I remember that I was coming home from school at 3, and I was learning until the evening and doing homeworks, and paying a professor to do Nachhilfe, to do meditations after school, just to be in line with the other kids. It was like everyone was doing this Nachhilfe. In Romania, it's normal because in school it's not it's not
Yeah.
enough what they do.
Yeah, yeah, I remember the same in Bosnia. So I do remember that at the age what you mentioned, and also in primary school, that there was a lot of homework at home, and there is
A
still.
lot.
I see even more. So that with my cousins, they had quite extensive, a lot of homework. And what you said, I hear that some parents says that they love when at 3 o'clock or 3:30 when they pick Ganztagesschule, when they pick their kids up, then it's time for play. So that's the overarching idea. So when the school is
Yes,
over, so when you pick up kids, then they have time for other
free
activities, as you
time.
said, some sport.
Yeah.
So when you put it that in that perspective, so I hear it. So it's really it's good. It's good because it should be also time for play, and not play is over once the once the
Another
school time
reason
starts.
Yeah, another reason why we moved was the health system, because like you don't know what happens, and we wanted the kids to have access to a good health system. And from that perspective, we are very happy with the health system in Austria. Both kids, they have OGK Versicherung, right? Assurance, and also a private one, but we don't really get to use the private one,
True.
right? And
Same for us. Yeah, yeah. We don't get to use
everyone
it.
is, really inclusive, and we never felt excluded from anywhere. Although at the beginning was very hard that we were not speaking German, and we are still struggling with that, but uh, at least we try. And I think that's highly appreciated. Like when you go to the doctor and you try to explain in German what's happening, and you're missing the words, or you're doing errors,
Yeah,
still they appreciated that you're trying.
true. So how's your German these days, Ramona? Did you go to classical school, classes, courses, or did you learn along the way?
No, I cheated. I,
You have a cheat sheet.
yeah. I didn't have time to do like a proper class or a course or something like that. No, I never did it. I was enrolled to one and was doing classes in the afternoon
Mm,
online, and I went there for 2 months or so, and then I stopped because I, I didn't have time in between work and
mm,
family. I never
yes.
had time to do a proper course. And what I did and how I learned German was reading podcasts.
Mm,
Every time while I was commuting, I was listening
mm,
podcast in German. I was doing grammar books myself, and I also built my own AI agent that helps me with the German, because like my German, like my day-to-day German, it's really good. I can have a conversation in German, but when you are in a professional setting and you need
yeah.
to be convincing,
Mm,
then I also needed other words to learn
yeah.
that were not in the books. And
True.
I programmed
Yeah.
my own AI agent, and I tried to exercise with it like at least 10 minutes per day. And basically, that's how I learned German.
Amazing, amazing. But you know, I learned German through classes and courses when we moved to Austria, and I'm really happy that we did. My husband and I, so we did it back then, and then we had our first jobs, and then so so now many years. It's before the kids, and then with the kids, you know, with the family life. I don't know where I would put it.
It's very difficult.
It's
Yeah,
really difficult. And then when people, you know, when you hear politics saying, "Oh, they are not learning language," when would I put that? So sorry. So there's no time. As you said, either only
exactly.
through commuting or when we are with the stroller outside. So you get or you go out in the shop and so on. But it's really hard to put time into it, and then you have to have the grace to yourself and not get crazy, because if you think about years, I'm so many years here and I don't speak it that level, so then you're gonna kill yourself with those thoughts, because language is like that. It evolves with you with time, with using it and so on. So it's not something you take the book and then you go crazy and read it and you're
It
gonna
doesn't work.
memorize all it. And no,
It
I
doesn't work.
remember
You
myself.
forget.
This is
No,
exactly, and this passive learning, being surrounded and listening, and then later on, you're like, 6 months later, you use these sentences and then think about, where did I heard that? Oh, yeah,
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 over
yes,
there, with my
exactly.
colleagues. Oh, now I remember, because you said that the German, and the business language, we all learn somewhere along. Either you have specific class for that, or you learn along the job. So I remember as you, when you go to the classes, you learn day to day German. But
Exactly.
in the business setting, and how it's spoken and how you write, type, and so on, you learn within the colleagues, within the in the room where it's spoken, and that was for all of us. But I remember your post. There's a post on LinkedIn where you said you hold your first AI. No, not AI. The
It
presentation
was a
in German.
presentation.
How was
Yes.
it? Tell me. Where was it?
Whew,
Was it was
it
it
was
it was
hard.
it was hard.
It was hard because the first step, it's always the hardest. But I told myself, you know what, I speak Romanian, I speak English, I speak French, and Spanish. I can,
Yeah, yeah,
have a
yeah,
conversation in Spanish
yeah,
as well. Um, German is very difficult, and I'm allowed to make mistakes, right?
yeah.
I started to learn on my own without proper schooling for 2 years German, and I'm able to make a speech in front of, I don't know, 100 people, and I'm still doing it, right? It, I'm okay if I do mistake.
Yeah,
Of course, unfortunately, I didn't had a lot of time to prepare and,
yeah,
exercise and learn. But I said I'm doing it anyway. So, okay, if I the biggest thing is that maybe I tell something wrong or I forget a word or something, then I say it in English
English.
and
Yeah.
then just, move on. Um, yeah, like I was not ashamed to try, right? If you take someone that has experienced 2 years in learning a new language and you put it in front of, it's also public speaking combined with
Yeah.
in a new language, it's not something that easy. And I said, okay, that even if I fail forward, and that's it.
Awesome. I remember mine when I had to do with the first one. It was probably a year and a half of living in Austria. And then we had this company event, if you remember. And then everybody gathers, and then you have these updates and short presentations from each department.
Okay.
And yes, so I remember that. And when we were, I think, in Leupesdorf, Terne, and I had to do that presentation. Usually it was done by my colleague, Thomas, and then he had to skip because he had to travel or do some other things. And I had to jump in and do it. And it was horrifying. It was insane. It was your everything's like, first of all, it's public speaking, as you said. So we have to,
Yeah.
do it into blocks. So what happens? You have to stand in front of your colleagues. It's a public speaking. So even in English would be like, oh, now I have to do within hundreds of people and the CEO and the whole staff and the management team. That's one thing. And then it's in German, you have to do it in German. And the third was like, we were the department within the Internet of Things, machine to machine. And then we were like, the island, we were belonging to Swedish company, but we were sitting in Austria and had in the employment with the Austrian entity because we were living here. And then everybody was like, yeah, they're doing something, whatever, let them do it. So it was not like, okay, we are here and we're going to change the world, even though it was on the paper and on the the PowerPoint, but nobody believed in it. Within you were in the room with everybody saying this is going to fail, and they don't tell you behind the back, they tell you in your face, and then you have to go out and then you present. Oh my God, it was horrifying. And I remember when I did it, so it was a short presentation. So it was like this, usually you get 10 minutes, 10, 15 minute slot. You go through it, the typical style, I was not aware of storytelling. I was not aware of myself. So this is like 10 years ago. And I remember some people later on, and usually the people that went the same way, that's the thing. So you get the empathy sort of from people who went the same way. They were the first one. They was like, oh my God, you're not 2 years in Austria and you did your big presentation in German. And you need those kind of people,
Yeah.
Those are your
Yeah.
friends. When everybody's like, yeah, whatever, and let's move on. And I didn't understand three things, but there were people who was like, oh my God, what kind of a thing it is that you've done, and then you think like, oh yeah, I did that. Oh, okay, good. Now I can breathe. So yeah, it's tough. It's tough love. It's really tough love. So congratulations on breaking the ice. Then it
Thank you, and
gets you
congrats
just
as well. But yeah, it's a mindset, and it's allowing yourself to fail and to mistakes and just get over it, because
exactly.
life is not perfect.
Yeah, we have. I usually tell to myself in the last years, when my friends tell me, "Oh, that was brave," I say I was pregnant 2 times and I gave 2 births, regular, normal. So anything else, and I think we
It's
all moms need and women we need to make this aware, conscious. So this is subconsciously, but I gave birth twice, and it's the most painful thing that they say. And some men, this video, the sketches where they put men to the same amount of pain with the same amount for us, and they literally almost die. So when you get aware of that, when you just put these things, and then it's like asking a feedback from someone who's a superstar, well, they, it's not gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt, but it's gonna go away, and then you're gonna ask again, and then it's going and so on. So I think that's for me. Lately, that was the end. Since you are in a product development, I am in a software company, and when I ask people and they say it's going to take 6 months, and I tell them it takes 9 months to bear a baby from nothing to something, and then And then I tell them
Per
always this,
person, yeah.
yes. And then in 6 months, you know what they can do in 6 months? And then in 9 months and a year, they are walking people. Can we put that in our minds? What does it mean a year? Because in a company setting, it's like a year, a 2, a 3, a 5. It's like it's casual. I mean, not casual, but you put it as a number. And then I try
Yeah.
to make it aware through the real milestones that go, in real life, that are tangible, that people can feel. Oh, do you know what does it mean a year? It's like, can we do it a bigger, better, in another way that, we can hit more milestones or more meaningful milestones within a year. So everybody knows me with these metaphors now, and even everybody laughs. So now, what is she going to say now with with the babies? Yeah, but it's important to bring also daily life into professional life and not just kind of put it away and now I'm here and let's just talk numbers. Let's just.
I think the mothers, there of course are disadvantages from a professional standpoint as a mother, but also a lot of advantages, right? One of the biggest disadvantages is the time that you have one or two other people that are, totally counting on you for everything, like totally everything. And this also brings a lot of clarity for a mother, a lot of multitasking, a lot of good way in prioritizing things. And it's also resilience, because as a mother, you know how many sleepless nights we have with the kids when they are small, and then it doesn't end there. I'm sorry to say it to you, but it doesn't end with
I
the
always say
kids
with
are
four.
in the mouth,
Fourth
and
year, when they hit the fourth year, I'm with the first one. When she hit the fourth year, then it was a little bit calmer. At least regarding sleeping. So with sleeping, it was okay,
with
but
the
everything
sleeping.
else.
But then there
Yeah,
will be other problems. You
exactly,
have this period
exactly.
of time between 4 and 12, and then you go into adolescence, and then then that's another stage, right? Rolling eyes and a lot of drama for anything. It's a hard period for a mother, and I think the men don't really have that, right?
Yeah,
They don't really feel that. And I believe that in general mothers are more resilient and more strong because they went through meaningful experiences that made them there. And you know what, like giving up, it's never an option for a mother. It's never an option.
true,
So
true,
just giving up, no, like no. That's not an
true.
option. Failing, yes, but then find a
Yeah,
way to
yeah,
repair and
yeah.
then continue. Failing
True,
up, it's not an option. You cannot stop. Never.
true. True, true. And no matter how the night was, you have to stand up somehow on your 2 feet
Exactly.
and feed yourself, feed them, dress them up, and continue with the day and try to get, I don't know, 15 minutes in the afternoon to rest your eyes and continue till
You're
later
lucky.
on. Yeah, because yeah, like you said it so nicely. And coming to the topic that you are in, and I am so out, the AI. So last week I did a nice panel, let's say, a nice with Anna Simic, who's also in the field of AI, and we did it for women of STEM from Balkan. It was in Croatian.
Nice.
It was in our language, and then Anna was it was women only, and it was so relaxing, so open, and everybody was sharing so how they do what they do professionally, and also in day-to-day business. And I said to Anna in the beginning and everybody, so I'm so behind. I'm so really, really, really. You said I built up my own agent. I know what it is mean, but I don't get 5 minutes on my phone. And if I get 5 minutes on my phone, it's usually for book the tickets, look for, I don't know, some option, some kids things happening. So I do that and that's it. So, and when I'm strolling with the baby, so it's usually podcasting. I listen to podcasts, which is awesome. I get to hear a lot of things, but I don't touch ChatGPT at all or any other. And they were looking at me, and then I asked my friend. Kids were playing, and we were chatting, and she said, "Well, I ask it every day. What do you do with it?" And she said, "Well, I type in what I have in a fridge in the kitchen, and then it gives me recipes, and then I'm good. So then I just do it, and was nice thing to daily easy because I see it as a way to help us to release some of the things. So coming to you, who uses it professionally and privately daily, I would assume. So how does it look, Ramona, on your end? So is it more bright and shiny and easier, or you get more things done? Yeah.
Yeah. So there are two perspectives, right? It's AI for personal use and AI as a business, and I experience them both. AI as a business, so we are at AverisAI, we are a startup, and we are doing AI agents that conduct the screening interview, and basically we are using an agentic system behind, and we developed that in-house by ourselves. Of course, some of the parts I did myself, but then I also brought two other very strong developers that now are doing this in a very professional way. So we built the entire infrastructure. And basically, the purpose is like we are driven by this value of fairness in hiring, because I'm sure you also lived it, and many people that are maybe moving from abroad or switching jobs, they apply and then they are rejected without any feedback, although they were proper for the job. It's just that the ATS, the application tracking system, they didn't pass it because they didn't have the keywords in their CVs. And basically that's what we are trying to do. We are trying to identify the skills and the talent of a person, regardless of what is necessarily written into the CV. And we are creating these interviews where the AI actually explores and discover who you are behind the CV and how proper are you to the role. And when you start a business based on values like fairness and responsibility, then you also build guardrails or the rules in place to keep your solution, really fair, and build responsible AI, which means that we want to remain ethical, we want to remain unbiased. So if you as a mother, you apply for a role and someone, a man, your age, same profiles, you would have equal chances, right? Not you because you're a mother, and a woman, you don't have the same chances because, you have other responsibilities. So, of course, it's a lot of effort, and I'm very much involved in also developing the solution, but also building the business, the strategy, the roadmap, bringing in the customers, and so on. It's a lot of work there. And then it's the other side of AI applied. Of course, I use AI in my daily business in creating marketing materials, creating an agent that helps me learn German, you know, also cooking with AI, because I have to feed the kids one way or the other. And definitely I build it, I use it daily. And that's why I was dragged into these workshops, and I'm doing also workshops with a dear friend of mine, or workshops for professionals. How to use AI, how to build AI to fit your lifestyle and your professional target, because you don't need to be a developer to use AI. There are different ways and different tools out there. It takes a couple of hours to learn them and then apply them, and then it actually simplifies your life.
Is this the one that you did for the executive academies for the female leaders? Some
Yes,
sort,
yes,
yeah,
yes,
I saw
yes,
it.
similar. Similar. I was talking to Katarina, the president of the Female Leader Network, and she said, I need to know what you know. You have
Yeah,
to explain me, you know.
yeah.
And then I did that, and I had different occasions where I also teach that in class.
Do you
And
do it as I mean, as a paid workshop? So do you have a regular times or places where people can look and book it, or is it
um,
on more on a demand?
like right now was only by request and networking, but I'm collaborating
Mm,
with a very dear friend of mine to create this, like also to be accessible to
mm,
anyone else who really wants to use AI in
yeah.
their own purpose. But my mission and my drive, and maybe that's because I also have Alexia, who's a teenager, and I
Mm-hmm.
realized that AI it's here to stay,
Mm-hmm.
can be a great partner, but can also be a
Mm,
dangerous tool. And that's why I was talking a little bit with her, and I got the idea, what if I would do a workshop for her
mm-hmm.
to understand what kind of AI is out there, how can she use it properly? Because you know what, the kids here in Austria, they
Mm-hmm.
received from Google 1 year pro free account for the teenagers in school
Mm-hmm.
if you show that you're a student. And then I was talking to this friend of mine, and she was saying, why not doing this for all the teenagers?
Mm,
Because AI brings so many opportunities
yeah.
and opens so many doors. And right now the industry change, like information is not power anymore, because information is out there, anyone can use it. The power is how you learn in a responsible way to use the AI tools that are out there in your benefit,
Mm.
in an ethical way. And we would launch next year a workshop for teenagers in this direction.
Amazing.
Yeah,
That's really important.
it started because we both are mothers, and we understand that the kids these days, they are using tools, but they cannot distinguish in between what's deep fake and what
Yeah.
is real. You are talking with a friend on internet, it doesn't matter which social media, and you don't know if that person is real or is just an AI agent. You can even
Well,
talk with an AI agent, that's pretending to be a person. There are so many ways out there to trick kids in different things,
well.
and I think it's just a matter of time until this would be explored. I-
Mm.
and that's why I believe that, and I want my child to be prepared. um, and this also comes for my willingness. Before leaving Romania, I wanted to build a program, educational program, to help the the young teenagers from small villages in
Mm.
Romania, and do an educational program
Mm.
for them, to help them to advance in career and come to the cities and find a great job, and all of that. But I left. I was part of an NGO in Romania, and it was the most meaningful part of my life, the things that I did in that NGO. And now maybe that's an opportunity for me
Mm.
to
Yeah.
go in this direction, right? And work with the teenagers, and teach them some tricks that they could use to
Yeah.
evolve in a
Yeah.
safe way and use AI in a safe way,
Yeah.
responsible and ethical way.
That's awesome. I mean, you are every now and then in Romania now in online world you can do lot of classes, and when you are there. So I also, when I'm in Bosnia, I tend to go to see my school and bring my kids to the school and all these kind of things, because it matters to me. So it's important part of who we are and how what we have become, and giving back is also part of our life mission. So you
Yeah,
give
yes, yes,
exactly, and for
that's
us,
very
you
important.
know it, and for you it's, I mean, exaggerating a few hours, but for the kids it means a lot to show up, first of all, and second, you can teach them meaningful skills that they can use anywhere where they are. And now with the technology, as you said, no matter where you live, I mean, I come from a very, very, very tiny village, but everybody now has a phone and internet over there,
Yeah.
so they have the access and they can build whatever they want with, compared to anyone anywhere in the world. So that's the power of, power of technology.
Yes, totally.
So I wish you luck with that. So I hope
Thank you.
it works out, and I hope it works out throughout
We'll see.
yeah. I mean, it always takes two usually. So now you have a partner in crime, and I
Yeah.
was participating in some shape with the She Goes Digital. I don't, maybe you picked that one up. So there's the digital She Goes Digital, She Goes IT, and it was for hundreds of role models visiting schools throughout the through Austria on the 9th of December. And they get to go to the classrooms and tell them what they do in the IT, what is their world, what is their day-to-day life, how did they end up there. So, and it started with I think four women that decided to start that initiative through the whatever NGO and so on. So it's possible. So things that we know nowadays with, I don't know, networks that we have mentioned, the Female Leaders Network, it didn't exist 5-10 years ago. So it's matter of us. It's in our hands basically to decide what we want to offer and what we want to give back and how we want to shape the communities and the society. And we have seen many initiatives that you and I both are part of it or know. So I think it's possible. It takes some time, and maybe it's not the timeline is not as
Not
we
easy,
always
yeah.
wish, but we see that it's possible, that there are ways, and that women and people are doing it. So there is definitely a way forward. And before we wrap up, Ramona, I wanted you to tell us a little bit about, you said a bit what you want to do in 2026, and about the podcast that you're doing with your dear friend, colleague, also from
Yeah.
the Very Executive Academy. You met there, the LearnShift.
The
Maybe we wrap
LearnShift,
up
yeah.
with that. So what you guys are learning and shifting in the in the podcast.
So, Adela, the biggest change in my life came through Vienna Executive Academy. Of course, it was very difficult at the beginning because I had this. It was the first time in my life when I invested the money for me. And the power of Vienna Executive Academy and the power of this MBA was not only in the lessons that were tailored,
Yeah.
right? The
Yeah.
formal education that we received, but also the network where we were exposed and the group works and, the challenges that we went through. And I think a couple of months ago, David came to me and said, let's do a podcast because, both for you and for me, this journey with the MBA was totally transformational. Like I'm another person since I graduated, since I started this journey. And I've learned so many things, and I think it's a good idea not to keep this for ourselves, Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Oh, I don't have time. Well, let's try it because we will find time, and I'm sure it's totally useful. And basically, LearnShift is based on the willingness of learning from others. In this life, we don't have time to do all the mistakes and learn from them. Sometimes it's really good just to listen how other navigated career and how different situations and different learnings help them to go through it. And basically, that's what we are doing. We are inviting people that went through maybe a formal education, maybe less formal, maybe an informal education, and changed their lives. And it takes a couple of hours per week, but we have these discussions with professionals, and it's amazing. It's totally amazing. It 1,000 times pays the time that you invest because so far we talked with people that are totally sensational, and they share their experience. And in after every session, we do a debate on, okay, what did you learn from this session? What are your takeaways, and what are my takeaways? And sometimes, sometimes are the same takeaways, but sometimes we see them from different perspectives. He's a man, I'm a woman. He has his experience. He's an Austrian, I'm Romanian. We are totally different, but these discussions really help us to stay in this learning journey, to stay very much connected in this learning journey.
Amazing, amazing. I will post about it in the comments section of this video. Ramona, thank you so
Adela.
much. It was so nice talking to you, and thank you for being my guest for the end of the year. I wish you luck with all the projects and all the things that you're doing. And if you need any help, just let me know. And there's a lot of us in the Making It in Austria community. I'm sure more hands will be appreciated. Before we wrap up, I just wanted to share you my T-shirt, My Voice, My Power, and it's from the Verein, so Association Medita, that is doing the Circle of Joy every year on the 8th of March. And next year it's gonna be in the amazing, brilliant, I don't know, there's no word to describe, the Wien Staatsoper. It's experience for just the building. It's the experience for itself, and then on top of that, I mean, with it you get 2,000 women singing for women who can't, whose voices are not heard, and there are many of them. Exactly. So
millions, yes.
I will post a link to the shop. So if you have not been yet, so you must, and please buy at least 2 tickets or 4, and bring your friends, cousins, mothers, neighbors, because it's also transformative, I would say, experience, Ramona. Like
it
you
is.
said, with
I
the
know
way
very well
executive.
Gina.
Yes.
Any discussion with her is transformative.
Yes. And on top of that, you get Richelle Shanti, who was the back vocal for Celine Dion. So you can find her online, and her voice is just transcendental. And she stands in front of you on the stage, and you sing I'm a Woman, and 2,000 women next to you sing, and you hug and you hold hands, and you stay there for an hour and a half at least, and you go home feeling changed. Yes, and this experience holds you for a very long time. So Gina, Ivona, and the whole team from Medita are doing this for years now, and it's also, I think, it's also on some charity base. So I think some parts of it, or some of it from the tickets, goes to Caritas. So all together, it's a beautiful cocktail of great things, and people giving their times for making our society, our communities better, stronger, and more resilient. So thank you everyone for tuning for this year. It was a couple of episodes. It was a busy year with the baby, with the kid. So I hope we do more next year. I hope we do more get-togethers, and I'm really looking forward. Happy holidays, everyone, and take good care of yourself and your loved ones. Ramona, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I hope we see each other very, very, very soon.
Definitely.